Hi Taurus, welcome to 2017. This is Astrologykiki and we're going to review your January forecast. We're going to start off the month very productive, some very positive aspects with regards to you taking initiative, making an effort. If you make an effort um, in certain areas, you will see positive effects of that effort. But if you just sit back and and don't make any effort, you probably won't see anything. So get out there. Mars is going to help you. Mars is going to help you get out and take action and do what it takes. And you could have a very productive month. But the beginning of the month sees a focus in the 8th, 9th, and 11th houses. The 8th house is the house of other people's money. Could be banks, insurance companies, family. So if you're taking out a mortgage, getting some kind of insurance payout, taxes, although it's a little bit early in the US for any kind of tax payout. But if you take the initiative, this could be a positive time for you. So maybe you're asking your family for support. Maybe someone's helping you in some way, shape, or form, a sibling or a parent. There's some kind of money coming in through other sources. That's the 8th house. And the 9th house is the house of higher education, long distance travel, foreigners, legal matters. Maybe you're thinking about going to college, university, or taking a long distance trip, or dealing with a foreigner. Anything, and I'm trying to combine those two, which is why I was thinking, maybe you're looking at a financial deal overseas. But again, nothing will probably happen with that unless you really make that effort and initiate something. But it's possible that you could combine those two, some kind of finance coming in through another source and dealing with maybe a legal matter or something or someone at a distance. And the 11th house is the house of networking and acquaintances and organizations, groups that you work with or play with or volunteer for. So there will be a focus on all of those things. And like I said, what we're seeing in the transits this month are, you can have some very positive aspects if you actually go out and make an effort to be productive with them. Towards the second half of the month, there's going to be some mixed aspects in there, some positive as well as some challenging aspects. For you, the focus will move from the 8th, 9th, and 11th in the beginning of the month to the 8th, 9th, and 12th towards the end of the month. And so you're going from you still have a focus on other people's finances, higher education, distance travel, legal matters. But now the 12th house is one, it's interesting. It's very broad. It can go from higher or institutions like colleges, universities, hospitals, to secret sort of gossipy type of things, behind the scenes, spirituality. They're not necessarily like very social, outward type things. It's a more of an inward space in this house. Um, so, uh, I don't know how I'm sure it would just depend on, everyone has different kind of situations, but that your focus could go from being a little bit more outward in your 11th house of networking and groups and organizations to a little bit more inward, um, kind of reviewing your past year, maybe how you want to change things and move forward in the next year. A very common sort of January theme, but it might have to do with money, finances, um, higher education, travel, legal issues. The only thing is, towards the end of the month, why you would be having some challenging aspects, there's some pretty heavy planets in there as well that will be affecting you. And those would be Uranus, which is the planet of surprises, Neptune, which is the planet of kind of glossing over, making everything look good, even though it might not always in reality be good. And then Saturn, which is the planet of teaching you lessons, making you responsible and careful and cautious. So definitely when it comes to money matters, since the eighth house is such a strong part of your forecast, be cautious. You don't really want that lesson to be too harsh from Saturn, and I think the more cautious and conservative you are, the less Saturn will kind of muck with you. Mercury, the planet of communication, is involved in there somewhere too. So be careful with what you write and be careful with what you say towards the end of the month. And you should overcome those obstacles that you have. But also, when you're looking at financial matters, if you are working on some kind of financial opportunity or issue, be careful with those planets. Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. Not only does Saturn want to teach you a lesson, but you have Neptune that might cloud your judgment. You might not be getting the full picture. And then Uranus is the planet of surprises, so something could throw a wrench in whatever you have planned. And definitely a time, I would say, to be cautious when you're looking at money issues. Don't overdo it, and take your time, and really weigh your options before you move forward. But again, it's interesting because this is the month where it wants you to be, and to take initiative. Just be smart with what you're doing and be careful. Towards the middle of the month, there's a full moon, which signifies endings, and that is in your second house. Your second house is the house of earned income. So maybe you are ending one job and beginning a new one. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the end of a cycle. So maybe you have a new position and you're moving from one job to another. Maybe you got a raise and you're moving from one pay scale to another. So, yeah, that could happen to you. Again, your birth chart, depending on the degrees and what degree the full moon is at, it may affect you, it may not, but that's a potential issue or event that could happen during the full moon. The end of the month is a new moon, which tends to mean new endeavors. And that is in your 9th house. And your 9th house is the house of long distance travel. So wouldn't that be nice if it signified the time when you are now going to be able to get out and go to new places, or maybe you're going to strike up something with a foreigner, some kind of maybe business transaction or communication, something afar. Um, or maybe you're going to decide to go back to school. This is the time to go back to college or get that other degree. And another possibility would be that there's you may become involved in a new legal matter. Something might come up where you're going to get involved in some kind of legal issue. I hope it's the long distance travel rather than the legal issue, but it could be any one of those things. So anyway, hope you have a great month and a very productive 2017.